My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Rocket League with Orbital Potato.
Oh man, Rocket League, it's pretty good at the moment actually. We've had a couple of successful de-ranking matches before we finally played seriously on purpose.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't think we can really complain about it, to be honest. Too much.
I tend to agree with your summary of the last two episodes. What I'm gonna
Yeah.
say is that I'm very glad that we sowed the seeds of Rocket League being an enjoyable game, even when you're losing, very early in the series, where we were winning most of our matches, and we were just talking about
Yes,
how
yes.
it's a really fun game, even if you're losing. And now we get to experience that firsthand.
Yeah, I mean it's always different commenting on a game when you're the loser and when you're the winner, you know? There's always much more pride involved when you're the winner, so you can talk about things much more philosophically. Whereas if we were like, "Oh yeah, it's so much fun when you're losing," then that sounds a bit disingenuous now that we're actually losing.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't sound, oh my god. We're up against a clan.
These guys are playing together. They're
Yeah,
probably
I'm just gonna
speaking to each
guess by them both having the name tag.
other. Good shout. Oh no. I messed that up. Oh, that's a perfect layoff.
Oh,
That's
what?
perfect setup. Yep.
I thought I was gonna be in time to body block that. But, look at what happens, basically. I'm like,
Alright.
oh, I gotta speed up, and then it just goes behind me.
Yeah. Yeah. Just right past. That's a real shame, actually. You know, you deserved that, man. You deserved
I don't know
that.
what you're talking
That's
about.
safe.
I'm specifically letting them get goals, because we're D-ranking right now.
Oh yeah, of course. In fact, yeah, actually, the first two matches of the day are always D-ranking matches. All right, there we go. That's fine. Yeah. All jokes aside, they're kind of annoying me by how not terrible they are. Oh man, I thought
That
that one
was,
was
yeah,
gonna go in.
I saw that. That was pretty solid.
If any goal was going to go in so far, that would be it. Oh no. No, no, no. No,
Oh,
no,
damn
no.
it! Kinda getting pooped on here.
We're supposed to be. It's okay. You know, it's okay. We can take consolation from the fact that this is intentional.
They're running a Cleveland steamer on us.
You see, in fact, I don't even think these guys are actually that good. You know, it's just that they're probably communicating right now, which gives an extra level of skill.
If
to it.
only
It's
we
like-
were
it's like us,
communicating
you
right
know?
now.
Yeah. No, but we can.
Oh,
we can
nice.
Work better.
We
we
both
go.
went in for that one. Have a look at this.
How close were you to getting it? You must have been pretty close. Oh, oh, pipped to the post by millimeters there.
Absolutely nothing in it. There's a bee's dick of length between the two cars at this point. Absolutely neck and neck.
Oh,
This is a sort of race that could be decided differently if you managed the quantum realm and saw that the electrons were just in front of the electrons of the other car.
I thanks Rhapsody. I don't think you could have put it better myself actually. That was a really fantastic shot on goal, and you know they were both right to go for it. I think it was a really good tactical decision at the end of the day to go for it, because if one of them had missed them, then the other one could have quite easily backed them up, and that's where we really see this team shining. You know, we're really seeing the teamwork shining through in this match and other matches throughout the season. You know, they've worked really well together. I mean, they've had their occasional downs, but you can't complain at the end of the day. They're a fantastic team.
That's
Back to
right.
you.
It's very much of a safety valve for one of the players to be there, just in case the other one has a brain hemorrhage and cannot complete the score. A spontaneous brain hemorrhage, of course, a very common factor that you want to be accounting for in Rocket League.
You see, this is fantastic, right? Because that's actually how they speak. They just speak absolute nonsense for like 90% when
Well,
there's
yeah.
nothing interesting happening. So that brain
Yo,
hemorrhage
we're both
conversation,
LPers.
completely relevant.
We're very familiar with speaking absolute nonsense because nothing's happening.
Yes, yes. That talking about brain hemorrhages, that's phenomenal. That is fantastic. That must. Speaking of actual brain hemorrhages, right?
Mm-hmm.
That must be a pretty arbitrary thing to worry about. You know,
I mean,
when you're
like,
thinking of football.
yeah, it's definitely something that you don't want to have happen. But at the same time, FAST, you want to know all the signs of a stroke, which I believe is like basically a bleed in the brain, so kind of like a brain hemorrhage. So FAST, obviously, F, face, if you smile and your smile is crooked,
Lopsided.
there's a problem.
Yeah.
A is arms, raise both arms if one side is lower than the other or cannot be raised as high. That's a problem. S is speech, if your speech is slurred. That's also a problem. And then if all of those are a problem, T is for time. You got to get an ambulance real quick. Now, usually we like to focus on making jokes and interesting commentary, but I think it's really important that all of you know the signs of a stroke and the way in which you should combat it, just in case a loved one should ever encounter, God forbid, with such a horrible occurrence.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of other first aid.
Yeah, call it straight up edutainment. I'm gonna make sure that you know this, and then we can get back to talking about the comedy of brain hemorrhages.
Well, there's other first aid tips that I'm sure we could share in due course. I mean, you sound like you were pretty knowledgeable there. I presume you've sort of done some sort of a first aid thing before.
I've had and kept my first aid license a few times.
Yeah, Thought so. Yeah, so I would imagine that I've also got a first aid license or a first aid certificate, and I'd imagine there's probably a wealth of conversation to be had on this topic.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Let's just. What are all the situations where you want to put someone in the recovery position, and especially what are you doing with the recovery position? Are you you're particularly there to open their airways so that they don't choke out, but at the same time, you also want to make sure that any damage that could have occurred to their spine is minimalized, because you're not going to be moving it that much, especially with the neck region. You don't want them to possibly have any you don't want them to have any spinal damage that actually is persistent, rather. Oh, sorry, everyone's turned off. I'm just getting notification, just here in my headset. Everyone actually turned off. Interesting.
Yeah.
YouTube won't let me upload the video. It's apparently not interesting enough. My apologies.
See, the situations when you would want to put somebody into a recovery position, just to exacerbate the problem of boringness that we've already got, the reason that you would want to put somebody in a recovery position is if they are breathing, but they're not conscious. So that's the most prevalent example of a recovery position, and that's the one that, at least in the UK, we're always taught, somebody's unconscious, but they are breathing. Stick them in a recovery position, open their airways, make sure that they can actually breathe, and don't choke on their own vomit by opening their mouth and tilting their head back a little bit.
Yep.
That's all I got, man. That's all I got.
Don't worry, I will agree with those. Because my license, I think at the moment, is actually out of date. I should probably go back. So I can't, claim on anything that I am certified anymore.
First aid is one of those things that changes every few years anyway. There's always like a new strategy, and then it's suddenly like, oh, when you're doing the recovery position, don't put the arm in this way because studies suggest that this is actually counterproductive to blood flow and whatnot. It's like, oh, goodness sake.
At the same time, knowing even the strategies from 10 years is way better than knowing nothing.
Oh, of course, right? But there's strategies this is going to be a completely arbitrary comparison, right? But firefighters and whatnot. Firefighters' jobs have changed hugely, right? When it came to car crashes in the past, the first thing they needed to... Whoa, oh my goodness. The first thing they did in the event of a car crash...
So, hang on. You... Look at this. You bump me entirely out of the way and kick it back towards our goal at the same time. You make it so that I can't say what you're doing to us. What an effective double agent you are.
Well, we're smurfing, man. Oh no, this is the real game.
This isn't the real game. This is it? Is this our real game? Oh shit.
I don't know.
We're accidentally fucking our real game up.
Oh man, well that's a goal anyway. No, oh my goodness. How is that not a goal? That should have been a goal. I feel robbed. Oh, man,
I
had a really
especially
interesting story
feel
about
very robbed, yeah.
firefighters. I had a really interesting story about firefighters, man.
Okay.
I mean, what the heck?
What,
Alright, so-
you interrupted your own story by your own misdeeds.
Okay, okay, that's fair enough.
Wow.
That's fair to say, actually. All right, my interesting story about firefighters will commence thusly. So, firefighters used to only have to like drag bodies from car crashes, right? Because the fuel pump would just continually spitting fuel into the engine even after the car was off, because that was back in the day. You had was it a carburetor, I think. It just meant that fuel continually pumped.
I'm gonna trust your word on that. I am not a carman, personally.
No, me neither. But now, you know, now they don't drag people from cars because that's dangerous for people and for spines and whatnot. You know, they do real rescue and recovery, some stuff.
I tried.
That's my story about firefighters.
I'm glad to hear it.
You tried. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. That's conversation exhausted.
Okay.
Ain't got nothing.
Should we go back to the go back to talking about first aid?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
So I feel like that was a relatively successful track that we were down on there.
Well, it was a relatively successful track for us, although maybe not for your viewing figures.
Yeah, my retention tanks immediately after that. I'm just lucky I have Hearthstone Arena where retention is relatively high. It keeps up all of my other episodes.
What is your retention for Hearthstone Arena actually? I imagine you measure that specifically.
I think Hearthstone specifically is around 60%, but then the rest of my series kind of average it down to around 40% for the entire channel.
So how long do people spend watching Rhapsody Assassin?
No, Rhapsody plays. Thank you very much. I got the
Rhapsody plays.
Yeah, I got the URL. I qualified for a custom URL.
Nice, I like it. I already had the custom URL that I wanted, so I haven't changed mine at all.
See, I set mine up when I was much younger, and I've since realized that it was a stupid name, but I quite like this as it currently is. I like Rhapsody. Like, if you've ever heard Day 9 explaining why his name is Day 9, it's basically that when he was playing Brood War, all of the Korean pros would just choose a random English word, like sun, or happy, or just a random English word, and that would be their name for the rest of all time, basically. And so he chose Day, and then there was a team that just, like, had numbers as their ranks or something, as their, like, tag, and he just added that on his own, I believe, to give him an air of officiality. But yeah, now just Day 9. So, but it wasn't like a particularly immature thing, but like, you know, all of the people with like XXX Slayer, like,
oh god, yeah,
that kind of stuff. I wanted to get as far away from that as possible, so that's why Assassin had to go.
Yeah, okay. You see, even Assassin, right? That shows me a younger person with more sense than sticking an XXX Assassin super cool
XXX bitch triple X rated.
Yeah, just absolute nonsense. So why Rhapsody? How does that name have its origins?
Okay, so like I really like Bohemian Rhapsody. Like I like Queen a lot.
Who's that?
Queen, the band. Queen.
Who?
Queen.
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 No, it doesn't ring a
never
bell,
heard of
I'm
them?
afraid, sorry.
Okay. They're relatively indie, so I understand why you wouldn't have heard of them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not very popular.
No.
So,
No.
I really liked that song, and I realized that Rhapsody Assassin, if you spell it out, is 16 characters, first off, so it's accepted by all major websites. But then secondly, if you take the first and last letter of each of the words, Rhapsody gets you RY, and Assassin gets you AN, which is my name, Ryan.
Wow, that's actually really clever. When did you come up with this? How old were you?
I would have been about 12 or 13, yeah.
That's really clever. Like, I'm not trying to marginalize the 12 or 13-year-old you, but that's really good. That's really intelligent.
I see. I'm one of those kids where I had like the big book of like Mensa puzzles and stuff like that, and I just ate all that shit up. Of course, we don't really have like an institutionalized Mensa like the UK does.
I don't think Mensa's a UK thing. I think that's...
Isn't it? I understand that it exists in Britain. Well, I mean, I know it's worldwide, but I understand that they actually like have an active community there. Whereas here, if you take that test, you're a loser. I mean, basically, like, it's kind of a little bit of a wank.
People take it quite seriously here.
No,
oh, no,
God!
No!
What?
No! No problem, Meta, man. No problem, Meta. No problem.
Oh.
That was so bad.
Turtle meta time.
So
Turtle meta
bad.
time.
There we go. I tried, man. I tried. That was horrific.
It's okay. Our third match is up and coming, and this is the match in which we have to succeed. So, here's the plan of attack, right?
Alright.
Whoa, you're already in a game of... Oh, never mind. Okay, here's the plan of attack, right? First, we're going to go in, right? We're going to go in. We're going to load up the game. That's going to be the first thing that we do, right? Okay?
Alright,
so,
alright,
load up
yeah,
the game.
yeah,
Have
yeah.
you loaded up the game?
Game's loaded. Yeah.
Excellent. So we passed step one, and step one is a very important one. It's a step that we needed to really cover before we got into it. Now we're going to have to talk about the strategy that we're actually going to employ in the game. So we've created a party, and we've found a server, and oh shit, we're run out of time. Never mind, just play the game.
You forgot about the 110%.
We haven't got time for 110%. No time for heart and soul. I really gave it my heart and soul. I gave it all.
Right. See, I always want to ask you if you know who sports personalities are because, you know, we have a tendency for not knowing who famous sports people are. Do you know who Andy Murray is? I presume you know who Andy Murray is.
Andy Murray.
Yeah.
Is he a tennis player?
Yes, he is a tennis
Oh!
player. Like, are you
I'm the fucking best man of all time.
Are you being serious right now, or do you
I'm being
genuinely,
very serious.
not? Okay. That's actually reassuring. Andy Murray basically is a British tennis player. He's a Scottish number one. He's the British number one, and he's the world number 4, give or take. You know, he wins occasional competitions, but he's not amazing. You know, he's not like Nadal or Federer or whatnot.
Is Hewitt up in the rankings? I only know who Hewitt is.
Hewitt?
Leighton Hewitt.
Who's Hewitt? Oh, I have no idea who he is.
Oh, wow.
No
okay.
idea.
So he wins like Australian Opens and stuff like that. And so obviously he's one that I'm relatively familiar with.
Pretty sure Andy Murray won the Australian Open like last year.
I know who Novak Djokovic is. Can I get some points for that?
Okay. Yeah, you can get some points for that. All right, fair play. Have you ever? This is a terrible conversation topic, but have you ever seen Andy Murray give a post-match interview?
Yes, I watch them all the time. I actually have a specific playlist on YouTube which consists of all of the interviews he's ever given, and yeah, I load them up when I want to jerk off. Nice.
Go.
Nice.
Save it. Nice. There we go. Honestly, watching Andy Murray doing a post-match interview, his personality is probably one of the most depressing sports personalities I've ever seen.
What? Hang on. Is this the guy that I heard referred to as the most dour man in sports?
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Lovely. I'm real bad. Look at this shit. I did try and backflip it out.
How have you heard of him, but you haven't seen any of his stuff?
Okay, so here's what happens. People will have conversations, and I will not partake in the conversation. I will actively ignore the conversation. But I will still hear it, and thanks to my stupid brain, I'll remember it for all of time. And then it'll be something that just exists in my memory, unfortunately. Okay, so I find, like, anytime people are, like, answering trivia questions, and they're like, oh, I've just got a gut feeling about this one, I've just got a gut feeling, it's because you've got all of these separate facts that you don't exactly remember, but they are tied together some reason in your head, and I have a lot of that going on.
Okay, okay. So you're good at Trivial Pursuit. That's what you're telling me right now.
No,
right?
I'm not. Really not
Oh
good
my-
at Trivial
why?
Pursuit. Because it asks too
Well,
many
why? Why
questions
would you
about
say
things
that?
that happened before my time. Is typically why I'm not good at Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, you gotta play the what's the one? The Baby Bloomers one.
Baby
Which
bloomers.
is like, yeah. No, not the Baby Bloomers one. That's
Baby
the
Boomers?
that's the 60s. Yeah, it's like the 60s and the Vietnam War and whatnot. Oh,
Yeah, it is.
you pillock! I had a perfect setup on that.
I like
Nudged
that
me.
word, Billick. I'm glad
You
that I did it
nudged me.
just to hear that word.
You nudged me. You absolutely.
You did it before to me
knothead.
as well. Don't act like
Ah.
you're above nudge meta.
I am above nudge meta.
You are
I
not
am-
above nudge meta. You
I
knocked
am
me out of
well
a
above
certain
nudge meta.
goal.
All right, you know that's in the past. That's irrelevant, right? This is in the present.
Yeah, that's in the past. That's irrelevant. Now let's talk about that flying meta goal I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes ago.
Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
God, I'm trying to get in the sky this episode, but it's just not. It's not happening for me. It's not culminating. It's not eventuating. It's not a thing that is existing.
It's not materializing for
It's
you.
not materializing.
I
That's a
get it.
word that I would that I would also like to employ with regard to this situation.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Materializing. I don't know. Materializing is one of those words that sounds a bit more posh than it actually is. Oh my goodness, that should have been a goal. Should have been a goal. Should have snuck it past him there. It's a real shame.
Oh,
Oh well,
shit!
I tried, man. This is going in. This is going in.
Yeah, I
you go.
somehow had no boost. I thought I had full boost before I took the hit, and now I have no boost. Did he? Can you knock the boost out of someone?
I don't think you can.
I think they knocked the boost out of me.
Well, you know what? That's going to save you a lot of face, actually. So yeah, go with that.
Excellent.
Go with that.
That's pretty much what
Alright.
I'm going for, because we're supposed to be saving face on this match, as in, this is supposed to be the match that we win, and it's not going well so far.
Hey, so far, don't get your hopes down, buddy.
Don't
1
get
minute
my
and 6
hopes down.
seconds
Don't
left.
worry, man. I'm not a pessimist or an optimist.
You're a realist.
I'm a realist, exactly. Disguised as a cynic.
What do you mean disguised as a cynic? I think you're... Well, I suppose you're quite cynical.
Yeah.
I don't really know where I'm going with this topic of conversation.
That's
All
okay.
right.
We can always revert back to our strongest topic of conversation, which is first aid.
First aid. Oh, that's fantastic. Finish it, finish it, finish it. It's yours, man.
No, I can't do it. It was too close to the wall.
Tried. He tried. He gave it all he had, but
I gave
all
it.
he had just
I didn't give it
wasn't
all
enough.
I had. I gave it 1.1 times all I had. That's
Oh,
right.
man.
If I were to give it a statistical, if I were to give it a quantifiable or a quantized amount, I would say it's about 110%. Yeah,
About 110%.
About
Funny you should
110%,
mention that,
roughly.
actually, yeah.
roughly.
Oh, okay. Good shout. I think that's a good shout.
Actually, what's
Alright,
happening
well, you know
here is
what?
you're giving it 100% and I'm giving it 10. So
All right. You know what? We've learned a lot today in today's episode of Rocket League, haven't we? I mean, you've learned the word pillock.
I knew the word pillick. It's not a word
Okay.
that you get interact with very often in.
I apologize. You've re-encountered, you've rediscovered the word pillock.
Yeah, I've realized my fondness for the word.
Yeah, you've reconnected with the word pillock.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough for an episode, I reckon. To learn, to relearn, to re-encounter, to rediscover a word.
That justifies the existence of this by itself.
I think so, actually.
Who
In
needs to
fact,
be good at video games when every day you learn one new word?
The entire series has been culminating to this point, exactly, actually. The rediscovery of that fantastic word.
I'm very glad that it has. It feels like it's paid off. My name has been Rhapsody. His name has been Orbital Potato. There'll be his channel link in the description down below. There's also a playlist for all of your Rocket League needs, past, present, and future, and hopefully, we'll see you next time.